Hello and welcome to the Lakeside at Hever Castle in Kent, where you can get lost in a water maze, visit the house and garden, take a boat on the water, or paint a winning masterpiece that could set you on the road to a life-changing prize. It's a brand new episode of Landscape Artist of the Year. From a starting block of 2,000 amateur and professional artists, only 48 have been selected to go for gold in our 6 heats. The search for Britain's top-ranking landscape artist has hit the lowlands of England and highs of Scotland. In hot, hot sun...
I think I might just go and jump in the river, because I am fading fast.
and soaking rain.
We arrived and the heavens opened, there was thunder and lightning.
The prize our artists are competing for is a prestigious £10,000 commission for the Science Museum to create an artwork celebrating the raw beauty of Orkney and its key role in the sustainable energy revolution. But to be in with that chance, they'll have to float the boats of our 3 eminent judges: Taishan Schierenberg, Kate Bryan and Kathleen Soriano.
That is a pile of paint. You must have one of the biggest biceps in art history.
And no contest would be complete without a crew of 50 landscape artist wildcards. It's nice to see someone dressing up for this and treating it with the seriousness it deserves.
A bit of pizzazz.
So whose efforts will be dead in the water?
I might get a tantrum or something.
OK, no, have a tantrum, I'll run. And who will make waves?
Now I'm honestly struggling.
And be our Landscape Artist of the Year. We should just roll off into the distance and leave them to it.
Yeah, that would be very nice.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah, should we...
We didn't bring a picnic with us. Nothing's guaranteed with the British summer, least of all a sunny start. But a bit of rain has never stopped the Landscape Artist of the Year team. Trudging through the mud at soggy Hever Castle today are 8 artists. Fitness instructor Deepa Goswami from London. Craig Longmuir, an art teacher from Sheffield. Russian-born artist Yana Kosheva, currently living in Berkshire. And Louise Stebbing, a printmaker from Norfolk.
Now, we arrived and the heavens opened, there was thunder and lightning, but I'm very prepared, yeah. I'm ready to go.
Also ready to paint whatever the weather are. Business support assistant Evelyn Chambers from Kent. Artist Ryel Hanbury from Hertfordshire. James Robinson, an illustrator, also from Hertfordshire. And Joe Mayhook, a parks manager from London.
I'm feeling very nervous but excited, a little bit like a racehorse chomping at the bit, ready to go.
All artists were chosen on the strength of a submitted landscape, which they've brought with them to display alongside today's work. And as they shelter in their pods and unpack their materials, they're thinking about the day ahead.
Yeah, I feel pretty prepared. I did some painting yesterday just to get the hands sort of going and ready.
I've never painted outside. I'm not used to talk about my art, so such a new experience on so many levels.
Artists, you have 4 hours to complete your winning masterpieces. I wish you all the best of luck. Your time starts now. Under a still unpredictable sky, our artists have a view out to the stone structure of Hever's Italianate Loggia. And stretching out in front of them is the estate's 38-acre man-made lake.
The view in front of me is exciting because it's got different shapes and different colours. I'm particularly interested in the trees, and I like the way the architectural feature has got shape in it as well.
I like the fact that buildings are there. I like the fact that it's got history. I've got to make decisions about what I'm going to put in and what I'm interested in.
Well, it's not a gorgeous summer's day, but it is a quite spectacular location.
But there will be change, I guess, when the glorious sunshine arrives later today.
What I think is amazing about this place is you really feel like you've stepped back in time. But I tell you what, the artists who show that they have an understanding of perspective are really going to have an advantage today, because there is an awful lot of things happening quite far away.
I think it's going to be curious to see which view they actually go for, because you've got the fountain, you've got the lake, you've got the wonderful trees in the distance. Although with this light at the moment, I think it's quite hard to pick things out. There's not enough light and shade to really sharpen up that detail.
OK, well, let's see what they come up with.
With everyone settled into their pods, our first artist is ready to roll.
I work mainly with lino cuts and etching. If the lino goes horribly long in the last half an hour, I'll perhaps ask you for a canvas and some paint and do a quick painting.
Louise Stebbing appeared on Landscape Artist of the Year at Stowe House in 2016 and has been printmaking since college. Her submission is the view from a bridge in the Norfolk village where she lives. One morning, the light captured her imagination and she was inspired to create the print, which took a week to complete.
Louise, you started drawing on the lino from a very soggy drawing that you've done on, is it tracing paper?
Well, I did the sketch first. I will actually trace the drawing just so it's back to front on the lino.
OK.
Because I want the lino cut to be the correct way round.
Because you're a printmaker, you have to do everything in reverse to get it to look like that.
Yeah.
Your initial sketch has got colour in it. I know your submission's got colour in it. It is beautiful. You've got so much variety in there that it's difficult to believe it is a lino cut. So you're going to use colour on this lino cut today?
I am, yeah. So it's all going to be done on this one block.
So I'm looking forward to this technique bearing fruit. I'll let you get on with it.
My favourite thing to paint is people working in the place of their environment. I didn't know there were boats going to be there, but if the boat's coming in front of me, then I'm going to put it in.
Named after Ryel Water in the Lake District, Ryel Hanbury has been painting plein air on the streets of London and St Albans, capturing people in her art for the past 20 years. Unable to leave home during the pandemic, Ryel's submission in oils is of her husband's greenhouse, which shows off her quick, loose style.
When confronted with this quite extraordinary landscape this morning, what did you think? What did you decide to paint?
Well, I decided just to focus on
the amazing Loggia.
The amazing Loggia, yes. And obviously there are people now.
And I see you're painting the people in as well.
I like people.
What I think is great is that you situate it in the present day, you know, just with the simple inclusion of this, like, stripy jumper.
Yeah.
And I love your submission, Ryel. I mean, tell me, is this your garden?
It is our garden.
Okay, you can tell from a loving eye, you've roamed all around it.
Yeah.
Well, I love the compositional choice you've made.
Thank you.
So I feel you're going to have a good day, Ryel.
I'm enjoying it.
Enjoy it.
Yeah.
Our 8 artists aren't the only ones braving the elements with their paintbrushes today. Setting up camp nearby is an army of 50 landscape artists of all ages, experience and techniques. It's the landscape artist Wildcards, and they are pumped to Hever pitch. Sorry.
My husband's looking after the kids, so at least, if anything, I've got kind of 4 or 5 hours respite from the children.
I've been a doctor for 11 years in emergency medicine. Being a wildcard is bit more daunting than being in A&E. I think I'd be a bit calmer if I was back in A&E, to be honest.
And it's no wonder, as only one wildcard can win a place at this year's semi-final. And you've been painting long?
I was a hyperrealism pencil artist for a few years.
Right.
Up until about 2 years ago when I started painting. So
you went from hyperrealism to painting with your fingers?
Yeah, painting, yeah. This isn't gin, it's actually thinner. The gin tasting session is later.
Oh, I see. OK,
Yeah.
good. Well, I'll see you there. Back at the pods, things are brightening up.
I would say my style is expressive. I like the energy of applying thick, buttery paint, and I attack the picture as physically as I can, just to get some excitement in it.
Born in Singapore, Craig Longmuir went to Sheffield Hallam University to study fine art and fell in love with the nearby Peak District, where he now works as an art teacher. His submission in oils of Hope Valley from Bamford Edge captures a cloudy sky, forming zigzag shadows that throw up changing colours on the valley's rock forms.
Craig, that is a pile of paint, which is weird because everybody I know paints plein air have got little portable easels with little tiny bit of paint.
Yeah.
And you paint this size.
Pitch up and paint the size.
To do that, you need a lot of energy, and there is
Yes,
a lot of
yes.
energy in your painting. Your submission is very textured. It gives us a sense of space, but it's not realistic in a sense. I don't see prettiness, I see a vitality. So what are you responding to?
I like distance and space, so that's the inspiration.
All in this very textured paint?
Yes. I'm trying to use colour and respond to the space, I think.
Yeah, it's looking fantastic at the moment.
Oh, cheers, appreciate that, thank you.
While Craig is energetically covering his canvas with colour, our next artist is letting things go with the flow.
It's going to be pretty loose, but I think it's going to be patches of colour coming together, and then you step away and you see the image from a distance. So I'm going to try and get a bit of that impressionistic style in it, hopefully.
With a diploma from the Royal Drawing School and a degree in architecture, East London-born Deepa Goswami now works as a personal trainer while she saves for a place at art school. Her submission in gouache is the view from her balcony in Newham. Completed in 6 hours, Deepa feels it captures mood and atmosphere and reflects her interest in the interaction between nature and the built environment.
Deepa, I love your submission that you gave us. What I really like about it is the incredible detail in the foreground. You found that building and really worked away at it.
Yeah, usually I kind of find like an anchor point, focus on it a bit more,
Yeah.
and then around it kind of fluid little bits.
Is that what you're looking for in this view as well?
Yeah,
You're sort of using these painted blue lines to
Yeah.
sort of map it all out, but
Mhm.
then you've gone in on the tree.
Yeah, so I kind of try to get down like tonal values first, just so I can see the depth of the whatever
Okay.
I'm looking at.
Well done. I think that's a great start.
Thank you.
I'll just take this with me as it is now.
The first hour's up, and the growing crowd is proving a distraction.
It's quite difficult focusing with everybody all over the place. You just have to stop and think, concentrate on what you're doing.
It's going a little slower than I thought it would. I've got some nice colours, but I need to make a little bit more sense of it.
How much time have we got? Yes, can I finish tomorrow?
At a wet and breezy Hever Castle in Kent, 8 artists are 1 hour into their challenge to create a winning work of art in just 4 hours. But not everyone's seeing things the same way.
So, Evelyn, we've got this beautiful Italianate structure with waterfalls and nymphs. Tell me why you've decided to go down the lake here towards the castle.
I like the perspective of the castle in that sort of funnel, and also the different colour of the trees. And I like the flow of the water.
Raised on a farm by the River Crouch near Rayleigh in Essex, Evelyn Chambers now lives down the road from today's location and works in business support. Her submission in ink, pen and oils features a black horse standing in the Shropshire Hills and took just 3 hours to complete in her loose, expressive style.
Now, you started the drawing with this black pen. I see in your submission that the drawing comes back after the painting.
It does, yes. It's like a conversation between the pen and the paint.
I don't know, I have a real problem with animals in pictures. They always are a bit sweet or saccharine or sentimental. There's absolutely nothing sentimental about your horse. It's very strong, it's got a lot of personality, and that comes from the way you've put down the drawing and the painting.
Yeah, I want to capture the essence of the animal.
Well, look, you made a great start. You've drawn in the whole composition, and it's a really complex one. So I can't wait to see how this evolves.
Our weather's pretty changeable today. It's sort of on and off light, pretty overcast at the moment, but we've had patches of sunlight, and it's knowing where and when to paint it and what exact moment.
James Robinson from Hertfordshire studied at the Florence Classical Arts Academy in Italy and now works as an illustrator and teacher. His submission of the River Mu Known was painted in 2 hours on a scorching Florentine day. It shows off his loose style, where he blocks in shadows and big areas of colour before applying subtler tones on top.
James, it feels to me like your submission was almost a rehearsal for what you've got today. So you've got some wonderful sort of foreground, middle ground and the distance.
Absolutely,
They're
yeah.
almost identical
Yeah.
in their elements.
Very much so, just not such strong sunlight.
But I can see you've been very clever with the sky. You've given yourself only a tiny bit of it. Did you do that on purpose because you thought it might change?
Yeah, also I put down a thin layer of white. I can introduce blue into it if it brightens up later. What I'm more concerned about is the brickwork on the building. When the sun comes out, they'll change in colour a lot. Hopefully I'll be able to adjust them, but it's going to be probably a medley of, overcast and sunny, somewhere between the two, I guess.
Well, it's got some wonderful bones to it already. I love the view you've got. Needs a bit more paint, I think. But I'll come back later and see how you've got on.
Very nice, smooth action. So tell me when the last time you did this?
Probably on Regent's Park, boating lake.
Well, this is idyllic, Stephen. The sun has come out at last, which is not only makes it more beautiful, but also makes it easier for the artist. Because this morning it was flat, wasn't it?
So there's no contrast. That makes it tricky, does it?
Yeah, there's no contrast, and also there's a lot of detail. So on that beautiful Italian loggia, you've got all the pillars, and it sort of gets very complicated. So now with a bit of sunshine, hopefully they'll get some shadows in.
It's so changeable, though, isn't it? Looks like it's going to be in and out sun. You have to make a decision, don't you, and stick to it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the beauty of plein air painting.
I'm loving the yellow, the touches of yellow.
The spots of yellow are beautiful accents, but with beauty comes the danger of kitsch and a lake with lovely little yellow flowers on it. You don't want me to just every cliche, rising clouds, lilies.
Yeah, it's pressing in the kitsch buttons.
Yeah, you've got to find a way around it.
We should just roll off into the distance and leave them to it.
Yeah, that'd be very nice.
Wouldn't it? There are no rapids, are there, on this lake? So the sun has finally made an appearance, and for our next artist, the bright light has opened up the game.
I'm very excited about the reflection on the water because I want the viewer to see the world through my eyes, a little bit more vibrant, more colorful.
Born in St. Petersburg, Russian artist Yana Kusheva moved to the UK nearly 20 years ago and works as a book illustrator. Her submission of a street back home features an abandoned factory repurposed into an art space. Painting in bright colours that are typical of her style, Jana completed it in 2 weeks.
Jana, how do you feel about the lovely landscape we've given you?
It's really, really beautiful. And I love painting natural landscapes with trees and lakes.
But I love the colours you're getting for the water. That's beautiful. You've got it spectacularly in its full glory. And I could get lost in the detail of the surface of the lake.
Yes, I'm not sure if I will manage to capture the beautiful reflections, all the ripples. But I will try, we'll see.
But that's interesting because your submission isn't traditionally beautiful.
My submission was about the contrast between future and the past.
Sure, and we loved that.
And it sort of represents metaphor of what is now happening to Russia.
It's such a successful painting.
Thank you.
The actual view that we've been given today is amazing. It's a big scape, and it's either going to need a very large canvas, which I didn't bring, but I brought several small canvases. So I think it's calling out for triptych.
As a teenager, South Londoner Joe Mayhook painted landscapes around Borough Market. But unable to afford art school, painting became a hobby around full-time work. His submission is a view of St Paul's Cathedral seen from the South Bank, in grey tones with colour notes finishing off the work, which he completed in under 2 hours.
You seem very relaxed.
I'm enjoying myself. I'm enjoying myself, and hopefully that shows.
And why the triptych?
I wasn't going to until I've seen this, and it's just such a strong image.
Yeah.
I want to make each painting to support the other pieces, but stand up on its own.
OK.
So take the other two away, it would still be a good painting.
I was looking at your submission, and I can see you've got these sort of blocks of colour that you sort of drop in. What do you think that actually adds, and why do you use it?
I think it adds strength, like a sort of an impressionistic type of idea.
OK.
You know?
I don't know whether it's just because it's St Paul's Cathedral, but it's got a real sort of wartime feel to it.
Yes.
You can't really see the river and the reflection, but you know it's there because of that glassy quality. I really like the sort of ancient sense of place.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Further along the lakeside, our wildcards are dealing with everything the changing weather throws at them.
Just trying to get contrasts and light and dark, because oil paint, the more you put on, the more it sort of melts together, and I'm just trying to get a bit of punch.
You're painting emotionally and intellectually rather than the view itself, or is it sort of a dance between the two?
My painting is more about what's, well, like a lot of painters in here than what's out there.
OK.
And at the moment, this is what's in here, which is a big mess.
It's nice to see someone dressing up for this and treating it with the seriousness it deserves.
A bit of pizzazz.
And also, I love the red streak in your hair at the back.
Look, I'm retired now. I can do what I like.
Well, it's a shame I'm not judging because you already won, as far as I'm concerned. Back at the pods, the halfway mark of the competition is approaching, giving some of our artists a sinking feeling.
Weather could change very drastically, then it's going to be much harder. If we have a lot of wind, then I'm going to struggle getting these clear reflections.
I do tend to try and fit too much in, but I will probably refine that because I don't want it to be too busy and detract from the mood of the painting.
Hopefully, I will have time to play with the texture, but I feel that I am very far behind.
Down in the Garden of England, our 8 artists are beavering away at their works of art. And as the end of the second hour of their challenge sets in, so does the panic.
Louise, I can feel the tension. It's actually emanating out in that direction.
There is a lot of tension.
What's the panic about? Have you got more cutting to do?
Yeah, so I roll the first layer of colour, and then that's all cleaned off. Then I cut a bit more away, and then roll over another colour.
OK.
So by the end of it, there won't be much of the lino left, and I'll be in the last probably minute of...
Right down to the wire.
Hi, Joe.
Hello, Stephen.
What's going on?
This is calling out for prettiness. So I'm going to have a fight on my hands, making it not look like it should be on a box of chocolates.
How does a painting become chocolate box, then? Do you start prettifying it?
Yes, my brushes start getting smaller.
OK, well, if I see you holding a brush smaller than that, I'm going to rugby tackle you to the ground.
Thank you very much.
OK, good.
I've painted the boat, and just so happens in the boat is one judge, one presenter, and one cameraman, which is really perfect, really.
So at the halfway point of the competition, the artists are pressing ahead. But how do our 3 demanding judges think they're getting on? Well, the British summer. It rained, it clouded, it suns.
It's contrary, just like us judges.
Diana's working in a looser way than her submission.
And interestingly, Jana's landscape feels tropical. Jana's not here. She's somewhere in the Far East, I've got a feeling.
And what she's doing in the water is really beautiful. She's just found an equivalent of her style that we saw in the submission, and she's loosened everything up, but she's still really trying to go for that sense of contrast.
James seems very cool, calm and collected. What are your reflections on his reflections?
James is one of the artists that I'm worried could overwork this picture this afternoon because it does have such a distinct mood. You could kind of cut it with a knife.
I think James's painting's got a lot of atmosphere, which comes from the density of light this morning. Now the lights come out. I want him to do more, bring a bit more contrast into it, and by doing that, he might lose the atmosphere. So, yeah, a bit of a tightrope walk.
Is Evelyn right to be so flitty?
She was very quick this morning. She's got a lot of shorthand, you know, using this black marker pen to do the drawing. It's very robust. She obviously understands the landscape.
In what she's making for us today, it feels very sketchy and light and hasn't quite got that richness and depth that I saw in the submission. That said, I love the view that she's got.
Louise is working on all these lino prints. Quite hard to gauge, is it, where she is or what's going to be produced at the end of the day?
She sort of did the first print and it was kind of like a ghost of the landscape. And now she's going back in and adding a lot more detail into the work.
It was interesting with the print that she's also mixing inks on the one print. It's blue and a bit of purple in there, but you get no sense of the heaviness of the landscape we've got in front of us.
Deepa's a bit worried.
I think Deepa's looks lovely. I think she's got something really romantic. She's really, for me, conjuring this place as it's been through the mists of time. You know, it's not particularly specific as a work.
I'm wondering, I need a bit of structure in there. But on the other hand, there's a sort of lightness of touch, which is really beautiful.
Joe's triptych, thrice the delight.
The way that he is able to reduce everything he's seeing to these big, sturdy shapes and to give them these really interesting tonal varieties and the way he thinks about colour. It was such an interesting rendition of what was in front of him.
He's found a beautiful equivalence in the grayscale, and he's doing really beautiful things this morning.
Ryel has put you and me into the bottom right-hand corner.
Yeah.
Is that
Allowed?
amount of sheer male beauty and homoeroticism unbalancing her work?
I think she's borderline disqualified at this point.
I think Ryel's done something interesting. She's sort of foreshortened the building, and it's really evocative and moody and quite sinister.
I just think the composition is very beautiful. And the boat, I think, is a really nice device to lead into the painting as well, because it is that vertical.
If the competition could be won by the sheer amount of paint being used, Craig would already be home and dry.
Yeah, I mean, I love the abundance of paint. It's full of life. It's almost too full of life. And it's very difficult to get into it to see the space and the volumes of the trees.
I think what you get with Craig is a new appreciation for colour.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit of editing and it'll be brilliant.
So it's all to play for this afternoon. Let's see who's going to give us Hever Lake and who's going to make us heave into the lake.
They're not going to use that, but it's really good.
I've been working on the greenery here and there. There is a lot of it around in lots of different tones. So I need to start to tie the painting together because at the moment it's a little bit scattered.
The sun's come out, so I've introduced a little bit more blue into the sky, turned on the lights a little bit, so it's got a little bit more contrast.
Until the early 20th century, only a modest garden existed here at Hever Castle. But all that changed when American politician William Waldorf Astor bought the estate in 1903. While living in Rome, Astor had developed a love for Italian art and sculpture, and upon moving to the UK, he created a little bit of Italy in his very English country garden.
William Astor wanted a grand garden primarily to show off all the statues that he acquired to all his family and friends. Probably equates to around 200. In 1900, he was the richest man alive on the planet. And a lot of the statues actually date back 2,000 years to the Roman Empire.
At the far end of his Italian garden, and inspired by Rome's Trevi fountain, Astor created an elegant sandstone loggia and lake.
It's obviously where William Astor would have entertained, had lots of parties overlooking that wonderful lake, which probably around 800 of William Astor's workforce took 2 years to hand in.
Today, Astor's unique design is dutifully maintained by a top team that keeps the garden at its award-winning best.
When William Astor was here, he would have employed hundreds of gardeners, gamekeepers. There'd been a huge kind of a team here. Now I have a team of 10 that look after the gardens here, so quite reduced, so we're always very busy.
Perched on the edge of Astor's lake, the Wildcards have also been busy.
I started off all right, and then I hated it, and I walked away and came back and fiddled, and then decided enough is enough.
I love a wild card who just faces the other way to everybody else. It's a wild card.
It is, yes, absolutely.
Tell me what you're using, because it's really interesting the way the paint's sitting on the surface.
It's liquid I'm mixing with the oil paints. It is quick drying, so I thought that would be quite good today.
And the judges have been checking on their endeavours. But only one wildcard can win.
No, don't back away. You're our winner. Congratulations. You're getting away from me.
And David Warren's brooding depiction of the lake, reflecting the dark skies, is the judges' overall favourite.
We loved the mood. It really looked like that this morning. It has that sort of heaviness of the weather, so well done, David. Thanks again.
Thank you very much. When Ty walked over, I really thought he was going to go past, because there's some very good people that way. And then when he said, don't go anywhere, it's like, oh, no. Yeah, it's amazing.
David, from Devon, will enter a pool of wildcard winners from all the heats, just one of whom will be chosen to compete in the semi-final. Back at the pods, our artists don't have long to complete their work, and tension is building as they move into their fourth and final hour.
I've been working on the Loggia, and I've pulled it round to the style I want it to be drawn and painted in, which is the challenge, because it's got to fit in with the rest of the picture.
I'm just adding a few highlights and tidying up a few areas that were unresolved.
Now I'm on this stage where I usually put away my brushes and then return to it after a week. But I don't have this option today.
Eight artists are nearing the end of their Lakeside Landscape Challenge at Hever Castle in Kent.
Relaxed, calm, enjoying yourself.
Very calm and meditating at this point.
OK. Sure I can't agitate you into being worried and tense and nervous? It's just better for the telly.
OK.
Artists, you have 1 minute left.
No, no, no. No. Can we have 10?
Just doing some final touches, little bits here and there. Nothing to overdo it, because I don't want to overdo it at this point.
I've now finished. So I'm now sitting here enjoying the weather.
I just think I've tried to do a good job. That's all you can do.
Artists, oars up. Please put down your equipment and step away from your easels.
Cool, yeah, it was fun. Enjoyed that.
I really enjoyed it.
I can do a painting outside in 4 hours. Wow.
As the artists relax in the evening sunshine, the judges narrow their selection to a shortlist of 3.
What a day. I mean, these paintings seem to be from 8 different countries.
It's incredible, isn't it? I mean, Jana has really managed to get that oppressive, stormy sky. I feel the weight of it.
A very complete picture. You really get a sense of time and space. James' simplification is interesting, where he really has reduced the tones and the colours to very few elements. And I wonder whether he was caught in a sense of no man's land, you know, either more detail to give oomph or to go even slightly more abstract, but very beautiful and evocative.
James's painting is very literal, isn't it? He's really caught the genteel nature of this place.
I love the way Evelyn's picture takes us down the lake to the house. I mean, she obviously thought the Loggia was too complex.
And I love the way the picture kind of like draws your eye in, almost like a kind of fairy tale. I think she could go even further with that quality, that kind of mysticism, that expressionism.
You know, I cannot believe what Louise managed to achieve with print. Putting multiple inks on one pull as well. It's got a great sense of movement. You feel the reflection of the water. I mean, I don't know how she does it.
You have to marvel at her technical ability to be able to produce something that looks so effortless. I love Deepa's little slice. The sky, there's barely anything there, just these kind of mauves in that blue, and it really sort of tells the story of the sky that we had today. And you get that sense that something's just about to happen.
Deepa's painting is quite mysterious. I don't know where we are, or is that even important? It's sort of a dream-like liminal space.
Joe's amazing to do all of these 3 pictures today and to sort of say, right, I bought these boards at this size, but you've given me a view that really warrants going panoramic.
There's almost something musical about it. It's like you're looking at a piece of manuscript from left to right, and the little boxes are like musical notes. You just know it's a noisy piece of Beethoven.
Ryel's got a great facility for making a lot of stuff happen with very little. Even her palette is very reduced. It's sort of muddy greens, and the only sort of respite from that is the bit of sky, which is very animated, and the front of the Loggia.
I mean, just to capture that tiny bit of light on the Loggia, it just brings the whole thing alive.
Craig is like a breath of fresh air. He's so different from everyone else, isn't he? The treatment of the water, it's not quite as believable. You know, if I didn't know that was a lake, I might not be so sure.
He really enjoyed himself today, and that comes across as a joyfulness to it and a life. It's full of life.
So we've got to pick 3, haven't we?
Yeah.
I've got one that is really singing out to me, I have to say.
But I wonder if it's the same one, because I've got one that's practically screaming to me, but I've got a few others that would make a very nice little top 3 time.
I've got a couple.
OK. It's a good day.
Artists, we've really enjoyed watching you all work today. Now it's time to reveal which 3 of you have made it to the judges' shortlist. The first artist is Deepa Goswami. The second artist on the shortlist is Joe Mayhook. The third artist is Ryel Hanbury. Congratulations to all the shortlisted artists, and well done to all of you. I hope you've enjoyed your day. Thank you so much. Thank you. Really nice to meet you. Hey, James.
I mean, I started clapping because it's like it just doesn't click, but it's wonderful. Yeah, it's wonderful.
The judges now have the difficult task of picking the day's winner. Only one artist can go through to the semi-final. To help them, they also consider the shortlisted artists' submissions. Well, as this day has gone on, the clouds have lifted and the sun has revealed some rather fine artwork.
In reality, this is a very serene place. It feels very relaxed, unlike our artists who are furiously working. But there is a quality of tension in all of these works, I think.
Deepa's a landscape artist who paints in portrait. Two very fine paintings.
There's specific moments in the sense that she gets more detailed, but they run throughout the entire depth of the picture, and it just makes the whole thing feel very lively.
In a way, you travel through this almost inconsequential view that she's caught in both the submission and the painting today. She's really identified light as being the thing that takes your eye further through. Well, there's something fairy tale about it.
You were concerned that Joe might tip over into prettifying his painting today.
You know, he's done something quite tricky with his submission, which is to get St. Paul's, to allow it to be St. Paul's, but without allowing it to take over the whole painting. And he's done something today which is quite similar, which is to take something incredibly beautiful and historic and deconstruct it and find all these darker passages.
You're always struggling to find the image, and as your eye wanders across it, sort of by pure chance, you get the sense of the atmosphere of the place.
Ryel likes to give us that journey through from close to far. She seems very interested in that.
But Ryel's also interested in where we are as the viewer. And in her submission, she leads you down the garden path very successfully to the detail in the greenhouse. And today, that sort of leading us up into the loggia, I thought was a very interesting device, and using me and you in our boat to sort of begin that journey.
She uses the lawn in the submission and the water today to create these kind of emptier spaces where actually she can be really loose and quite scratchy and messy with her painting application. And then, therefore, that really allows the bits where she's put more energy, where she's put more marks in, to really sing.
Well, there we go. 3 artists, there could be only one.
Yeah.
2 are going to go into the lake. One will become king or queen of the castle. Deepa, Joe, Ryel, to be in the shortlist is a fantastic achievement. But as you know, only one of you will go through to the semi-final. And the artist that the judges have selected is Deepa Goswami.
Well, my mum screamed and she cried, and then I cried. So yeah, it was all very emotional, very high emotions.
Deepa, I think, really found a sort of sense of air and lightness to actually what was quite a heavy and dense and very, very green environment today. She transports you in a way to a strange place. And I'd like to see her continue to do that in the work, and to continue with that lovely lightness of touch, that weird sort of sense of colours being put against each other. I'd want to see more of it.
I'm very excited about the semi-final, but thinking that I'll have to go through this all over again, that pressure. I'm feeling very, very overwhelmed, very emotional, and it's been an honour to be amongst such great artists.
Next time, we're at Stonehaven Harbour in Aberdeenshire, with 8 new artists ready to dive in. But with rain threatening play.
The weather does concern me, but we're all in the same boat. Excuse the pun.
It's sink
I'm going to leave it, not make a mess that I can't then put right.
or swim time.
I hope I've made Scotland proud. Definitely done Scotland colourful.